The estate loomed against the twilight sky, its sprawling grounds dotted with glowing lanterns that cast long shadows over manicured gardens. The scent of roses mingled with the cool evening air as Detective Eleanor Cross stepped out of her car. She adjusted her coat, her sharp eyes scanning the grand facade of the mansion hosting the city's most prestigious charity gala. Eleanor had seen her share of opulence, but there was something about this place that set her on edge. Maybe it was the missing persons report stacked on her desk, all attendees of this event over the past 3 years. Or maybe it was the man who approached her now, his tailored suit immaculate, his smile effortlessly charming.
Detective Cross, I presume? I'm Leo Hart, the event planner. Thank you for coming on such short notice.
Eleanor's handshake was firm, her expression neutral. She'd read about Hart, an enigmatic figure in society circles. People spoke of his genius for orchestrating events but whispered about his past.
Mr. Hart, you seem remarkably calm for someone whose gala might be connected to multiple disappearances.
Leo's smile faltered for a moment before he recovered.
Let's just say I've learned to keep my composure. But I'll admit the rumors concern me. I'm here to help in any way I can.
Good. Let's start with a tour.
As Leo guided her toward the grand entrance, he gestured toward a portrait hanging in the foyer.
That's Marcus Vale, one of our biggest benefactors. He's attended every gala, though he tends to keep to himself. A man of mystery, you could say.
Eleanor noted the name, filing it away for later. The ballroom was a spectacle of luxury, its crystal chandeliers casting a kaleidoscope of light over the crowd of masked attendees. Eleanor noted the intricacies of the room, the gilded columns, the long buffet table laden with delicacies, and the orchestra's lilting melody. But her focus was on the people, their movements, their interactions. Leo's voice broke through her observations.
This is where the magic happens. Every year, the gala raises millions for charity. It's also the last place the missing attendees were seen.
Convenient coincidence or deliberate pattern?
That's what we're here to find out, isn't it?
As they spoke, a waiter passed by with a tray of champagne. Eleanor's sharp eyes caught the slight tremor in the man's hand, and the anxious glance he shot toward a doorway on the far side of the room.
Who's that?
Leo followed her gaze.
One of the new staff. I'll have a word with him if you like.
No. Let's see where he goes.
The narrow corridor behind the ballroom was a stark contrast to the grandeur outside. Its dim lighting and peeling wallpaper gave it an air of neglect. Eleanor moved silently, her senses heightened. Leo followed close behind, his footsteps quieter than she expected. Ahead, the waiter stopped at a heavy wooden door, glancing over his shoulder before slipping inside. Eleanor waited a beat before approaching.
Stay here. If something goes wrong, call for help.
With all due respect, Detective, I'm not one to sit on the sidelines.
Before she could protest, he pushed the door open, and they stepped inside together. The room was small, lined with shelves of old records and ledgers. The waiter was gone, but on the desk lay a single mask, identical to those worn by the guests. Eleanor picked it up, noting a faint red stain on the ribbon.
Blood?
Maybe. Or something meant to look like it. Either way, it's a message.
Leo led Eleanor to the estate's garden, his demeanor more tense than before. The moonlit paths were lined with hedges, their shadows creating a maze-like effect. At the center stood a fountain, its water shimmering under the pale light.
Why bring me here?
Because this is where they always disappear. Every year, they're last seen heading this way.
Eleanor circled the fountain, her boots crunching against the gravel. Something glinted beneath the water. She knelt, reaching in to retrieve a delicate bracelet engraved with initials, AB.
One of the missing attendees?
Amelia Bennett. She vanished 2 years ago.
Before Eleanor could respond, a shadow moved among the hedges. She drew her weapon, her voice steady.
Step out where I can see you.
A figure emerged, their mask hiding their face. But their voice was unmistakable, confident, almost amused.
You're quick, detective. But not quick enough.
The masked figure revealed themselves as Marcus Vale, a prominent philanthropist and longtime benefactor of the gala. His charm was replaced by cold calculation as he spoke.
The gala isn't just an event, it's an opportunity. People pay handsomely to ensure certain individuals disappear.
And you profit from their suffering.
I provide a service. Your grandfather believed the catalyst was about truth. But truth is dangerous, it's why people like me exist.
As he spoke, Eleanor's fingers closed around the bracelet in her pocket. With a calculated toss, she sent it clinking against the fountain's edge, drawing Marcus's eyes away for just a split second. It was all the opening Leo needed. He disarmed Marcus in one swift motion, holding him at bay as Eleanor secured him with handcuffs.
You think you've won, but the catalyst's truth will find you, detective. It always does.
You're not the only one who knows how to play the game, Marcus.
The guests were gone, the estate quiet save for the distant wail of sirens. Eleanor stood by the fountain, the bracelet still in her hand. Leo joined her, his usual charm tempered by the night's events.
You got what you came for. Case closed.
Not entirely. There's still the matter of your involvement.
Leo met her gaze, a flicker of vulnerability in his eyes. He hesitated, his usual confidence faltering.
I'm not proud of everything I've done, detective, but I'm trying to be better.
Eleanor studied him for a long moment before slipping the bracelet into her pocket.
Just don't make me regret trusting you.
As she walked away, the storm that had threatened all evening finally broke, rain soaking the grounds. For years, Eleanor had seen the world as a maze of lies and masks, each more impenetrable than the last. But tonight she glimpsed something else. Truth hidden not in perfection, but in the cracks people tried to conceal. The catalyst wasn't just a painting or a concept. It was a mirror, reflecting the truths people tried to bury. And tonight, it had revealed more than Eleanor had bargained for. Leo watched her go, a faint smile on his lips. The case was closed, but the story between them felt far from over.